About a month ago, I did a video that I called 10 of my holy grail fragrances that I would recommend to a beginner. Kind of a strange video topic because it is quite unlike most beginner fragrances videos that you'll find out there. And I did get some pushback in that video saying, well, how can you recommend some of these to a beginner? They have to start with the designers and they move up, blah, blah, blah. Of course, that option is there. I'm just providing an alternate route. You don't have to take heed what I'm saying, but if you are looking for another way that's not just through the absolute basics, then maybe this video is for you. I have 10 of my absolute favorite fragrances in my collection, ranging from designer to niche, even some indie thrown in there. And again, these are my holy grails, my Hall of Famers, fragrances that I currently recommend all the time and will most likely recommend for a long time. And some of them are a little bit more accessible than others. Some of them might take some growing into in regards to the beginner out there if you're just starting on your journey. This list is not catered towards those who simply want to smell good and get compliments. That's what I said in the last video, and the same is true today. Not to say that these fragrances can't get you compliments. Any fragrance can get you compliments as long as you wear it right and as long as you love it and wear it with confidence to the right situations. And speaking of situations, that is how we are divvying up this video. These 10 fragrances are divvied up by occasion, and these are very general life situations that I've segmented out, and I've assigned a fragrance to each one depending on the attributes of the fragrance and on the needs of the occasion. And that's it. So let's dive right into it. Our first category is Easy Grab. This is a fragrance that can basically work for all of the categories I'm talking about. It's something that's super easy to wear. It carries a bit of a freshness to it. It carries a bit of a warmth. It's multifaceted, so it can work in a variety of scenarios. And the fragrance I've selected for that is Nautica B612, one of my absolute favorites from this Turkish brand. And this is almost like a fougere, which is an old style of perfumery catered towards men, at least in terms of marketing. But it's a personality. It's a scent personality that anyone can rock if you love it. And it is based around cleanliness, really. There's a feeling of cleanliness and refinement and classiness to this scent profile. It's fresh and aromatic with lots of lavender. It has this creamy smoothness that's a little bit sweet. It has this beautiful woodiness from cypress and this interesting warmth from cashmere or cashmere wood, which is what is the kicker to this fragrance that gives it its duality, its multifaceted quality that allows you to wear it anywhere, anytime. Again, don't want to think about it, something that's easy to throw on. You just go for this. That's simple. That is Nautica B612. Up next is Work. If you want to have a bit of a professional vibe to work, and you don't have to because not everyone works in a necessarily professional work atmosphere in terms of wearing a suit and things like that. You might work at a cafe, you might work at a bar, you might work at a tire shop, wherever it is that you work. There's all kinds of different vibes that you can have. In this particular case, I'm going for something that is a little bit more on the classy side of things, something that is a little bit more refined, and something that will smell a little bit more professional, but it's really just a personality that is confident. This is Terre d'Hermès from Hermès, an absolute classic from 2006, primarily based around the note of vetiver, which is an earthy kind of grassy note. In this case, quite an earthy scent, freshened with some citrus, given some spice for a kick, lots of black pepper in here. It is a masterpiece, honestly. It's not for everyone. Not everyone's gonna love this earthy quality that it has. People say it smells like a dirty orange. I get that vibe, but it's kind of addictive, honestly, if you're asking me. Anyway, a great work scent. Could be used for other occasions, but I threw it here because it works. Terre d'Hermès. All right, for a lounging scent, just lounging at home. Maybe you're not leaving the house for the day. Maybe you're just gonna be hanging out either by yourself or with friends, and you wanna throw something on that is easygoing, that is calming and relaxing, not too serious, not too outgoing, but definitely present. Winter from the House of Dasein. Don't be fooled by the name of this fragrance. Yes, it's called Winter. Yes, it was created to evoke the feeling of winter, being outside in the cold air in the forest. It has a coniferous vibe. It has pine in there, it has this fresh cardamom. Ultimately, it comes off as a very easygoing fragrance that you can wear just relaxing. It's a relaxing, soothing fragrance There's something transportive about it that is very grounding. You can wear it anytime. It doesn't have to be in the winter. You can wear it in the summer because it does have a freshness to it. So this is a more versatile fragrance than you might think. Winter, perfect for lounging. Casual day out. We have another designer fragrance here. This is definitely the easiest pick in the entire list. A fragrance that I kind of forgot that I really enjoyed. I try to get away from it, but I've always liked this, and I've always liked it a little bit more than what it's basically cloning. This is Prada Luna Rossa Carbon, a clone of Dior Sauvage. Yes, Prada tried to tap in on the market share of the Dior Sauvage profile, and they ultimately made something that is quite like it, but smoother and rounder, less outlandish, less flamboyant, a little bit more grown up, a little bit more confident, honestly, because it's not so loud. It doesn't have to get in your face. Very fresh with it. Lavender, it's spicy, it's kind of metallic. It smells a little bit like shower gel, but in a high quality way. Prada does make some of the highest quality fragrances out there with great ingredients. And this is one of them. Very simple, leaning basic, honestly, but I think that works perfectly for a casual day out, warm or cool, but it definitely will do good in the warmth. That is Prada Luna Rossa Carbon. For a casual night out, one of my absolute favorites, something very sexy, very alluring, very playful and fun, but with a bit of this enigmatic nature. There's a bit of a darkness here that makes it kind of mysterious and makes you just more interesting if you wear it right. This is called Desert Toxic from Micallef. Not an easy fragrance to get, something I'd recommend sampling. I recommend sampling all of these, by the way. I don't recommend any blind buys of full bottles if you can avoid it. This is an incredible fragrance. This is sweet, a little bit fruity with black currant in here. There's a spicy quality, it's warm, and there's a little bit of this very, very slight sour cannabis, but that might sound terrible. It complements the fragrance so well. It gives it a little bit of an edge and a little bit more personality than if it was just sweet and spicy and fresh. It's more than just that. It has character, but it's still very easy to wear, easy to get close to, and really interesting. That is Desert Toxic from Parfums de Marly Layton. For a romantic date, I gotta say this is a fragrance that has worked very well for me in this scenario. It's quite sweet, but if you're a guy, don't be afraid of it. There's something about wearing sweet fragrances, especially when you don't spray too much, that is kind of irresistible from what I've experienced so far. Don't be afraid of sweetness, guys. This is Instant Crush from Mancera. Yes, this is a clone of Baccarat Rouge 540. Maybe you can call it a twist. I actually prefer this to Baccarat Rouge. It is cotton candy sweetness, but made richer and thicker and a little bit darker, honestly, with vanilla. Almost has this roasted cotton candy feel, if that makes any sense. Really pleasant, very strong. In the air, can't get enough of this stuff. It can be very romantic. Definitely something that your date will want to get close to. That is Instant Crush from Mancera. A formal fragrance, something that has presence, that has a uniqueness, but not too off the wall. We'll save that for the next pick. This is called Reckless, coming from Roger Parfums. One of my favorites from the house. This is spices all the way. A ton of spices here. You get a bit of this dry, almost stuffy spiciness that's made warm, almost a little bit ambery in a way, a little sweet, but not in the most succulent way. You have a lot of bay leaf in here as well, so it does have a little bit of this culinary quality, but it just works. It is complex. It is so well composed. It has a beautiful sillage in the air. It's very spicy. There's something about spiciness when it's made rich and woody that can be very, very formal. In the last video I did, I chose Royal Oud, which is a spicy, woody fragrance. I wanted to do the same thing here. Stunning stuff from Roger Parfums. Very formal. That is Reckless. For your Showstopper, this is a fragrance that I would reserve for the evenings. I would reserve it for when I'm dressed up in either a full suit or in what I would call my badass attire. So all black or a leather jacket or something like that when I am at my most confident, to wherever the heck I'm going in the evening where I really want to make a statement, make an impact. I may not get compliments from this fragrance, but people will remember me. And that's going to have to go to African leather from Memo. I've talked about Showstoppers before. This has been in that discussion because it deserves it. This is incredible. This is a showstopper. The name is perfect for it. It is spicy. Yes, it is leathery, but in a smooth way. It's almost like resinous, something kind of exotic about it. It's very powerful, it's rich and dense. It's unique without being overly complex as well, which I think it's a perfect blend of just the right ingredients to make something that is different. And it's a showstopper. Don't spray too much of this. You don't need it. 3 to 5 sprays, you will be noticed. Wear it on a night out, dress it up, as I said, amazing. African leather. We have the Guilty Pleasure, a fragrance that I wouldn't typically boast about wearing while I'm wearing it. If people ask, of course, I'll tell them. And it's something that's gonna be, you know, easy to please, easy to wear, no shame in that at all. But it's just something that, you know, I hold it to myself. I'm like,
oh yes, no one has to know.
Spray it on. And I let it do its thing, and it works. This is Dior Sauvage Elixir. This is my favorite out of all of them. Perhaps the most grown up, the most mature of the collection, but still carries that DNA, that, again, almost shower gel-like thing I was talking about with Prada Luna Rossa Carbon, but this is quite a departure from it because it's made resinous almost, and it's made darker and spicier and woodier and almost a little bit oily in a way, which might sound weird, but it just works. And it's very powerful. I might actually wear this when I want to please, if I was going to use it for anything. Because otherwise it's not the most interesting fragrance, but it does get good attention. That is Dior Sauvage Elixir. We have anti-fragrance. This is a weird category, but this is a scent that you can throw on maybe on a day when you don't really feel like wearing anything overtly cologne-y or overtly smelling like a fragrance. Something that is going to have a scent to it. It's going to be very natural. It's not going to get in your way. It's not going to take your attention all the time while you're wearing it, but it is something you can rest on if you do want to have something and maybe get a waft of it here and there, just out of comfort. This is ocean water from Beach Giza, and it is what it sounds like. This is salty ocean water. It's refreshing, but not in like a super bright, citrusy, beachy way. It's more like being out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It's a little gloomy. It's salty, like I said. It's a little briny, but it ultimately is fresh and watery and quite a concoction. Very realistic, very transportive. If you're just looking to smell like the ocean in a soft and pleasant way, ocean water is a great choice for an anti-fragrance. And finally, we have personal. Yes, there's 11 categories, not just 10, because why not? Personal, I call this personal because I wear it for me. I might only wear it at home. I don't know why I love it, but it has a visceral effect on me that I can't deny. And again, no one else may like it, but I love it. I wear it for myself. This is Russian Tea from Mosque Milano. One of the most realistic and transportive fragrances in my collection. Black tea, made smoky and spicy, a little bit sweet with raspberry. There's almost a honeyed sweetness to it, and it's a little fresh with mint. It smells like this concoction in a cup. It is so soothing, but it's also strong. This stuff is no slouch, so I never really spray too much of it. And the aura I get around me is captivating. It captivates me from start to finish. I recommend sampling this along with all these fragrances, but this is Russian Tea from Mosque Milano. Okay, want to know, have you tried any of these fragrances? Do you love any of these fragrances? Again, if you do consider yourself a beginner, these are some avenues to explore if you are looking for options outside of what you might see in every other video. Just want to provide a little bit of newness to the space, so let me know what you think down in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.